It's time to see who every single Premier League team should sign in January in order to achieve their goals for the season. Whether that's finishing in the top 4, a top half finish, or survival from relegation, the players in this video could help contribute to a successful campaign for the following 20 clubs. In alphabetical order, we will start with Arsenal. It was known in the summer that the defence needed fixing, and it still does now. Even after David Luiz and the future signing of William Saliba, Arsenal should look to sign a centre-back, and maybe Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille is the player to do the job. An article from The Athletic read that Arsenal are looking to strengthen in both the defence and the midfield, and that they're believed to be monitoring the Brazilian centre-back. They aren't the only ones though, with Wolves looking at the 21-year-old too for a replacement for Willy Boly. He's averaged 3.4 aerial duels won per game, which is more than any other Arsenal player, and he's someone that could come in and solidify the defence, which is desperately needed for Arsenal. Aston Villa now, and it seems that their interest in Said Benrahma hasn't ended. He's a player I've talked about quite a bit on various different videos, discussing his qualities since joining Brentford in the summer of 2018. A player with great flair, technique and an eye for goal, as well as creating chances for others around him. It's unfortunate for them that he couldn't join in the summer, as his contribution towards goals could have helped out a lot. Probably more important for Villa is to stop conceding as many. In the last 10 games, no team has let in more goals than them with 20. Defenders may be more of a priority for them, however Benrahma may be too good to reject if he's available to get in. Bournemouth have scored just 2 goals in the last 7 league games, and both of them have come through Dan Gosling, a central midfielder. With that being said though, I think they already have good forwards in Callum Wilson and Josh King, and possibly adding reinforcements around them will help. In the midfield, they've been linked to Josh Brownhill from Bristol City, a workhorse in the midfield who covers everywhere on the pitch. There's not a lot he doesn't do. He can contribute to goals with 5 goals and 2 assists so far this season. Defensively, 1.8 tackles per game, 1.4 interceptions and 1.4 clearances too. Offensively, 1.3 key passes per game and 1.2 shots proves that he can make an all-round difference to Eddie Howe's squad. Brighton are said to be looking for a replacement for target man Glenn Murray, according to The Athletic. One man they could look towards is Emmanuel Dennis, who's been linked to a lot of Premier League clubs. Get French Football News have said that Palace are leading the way to sign him, with his value standing at around £25 million. And in the report from The Athletic, they say a source has distanced Brighton away from signing Dennis. I think he's a good example though of the style of player that they are looking for. He's been playing in the Champions League this season, where he scored 2 and got 1 assist. He's actually set to play Man United in the Europa League, so if he doesn't move, maybe this is a game for the Premier League clubs to monitor. Burnley are in the market for a right back, making one of their targets Jadon Bogle from Derby. Last season was impressive for him under Frank Lampard, where he was able to get 2 goals and 9 assists. He's what you'd probably call a modern day fullback, full of energy and wanting to attack on the wing. There is plenty of interest from other Premier League teams, West Ham, Palace and Brighton. Whoever wins the race for the fullback will definitely have signed a good young player. Chelsea are free to sign players again, and they're being linked to former player Nathan Ake. Since joining Bournemouth, he's been very impressive, and it's clear to see why Chelsea are interested again. It's reported that Chelsea have a £40 million buyback clause, which would be very ideal for Chelsea. I find that with the addition of him into the defence, they then have good options at centre-back. Rudiger, Zuma, Tomori and Ake would be a good mix of experience and youth that then have the potential to be solid at the back for Chelsea. Roy Hodgson recently said that their targets in the summer will still be their targets coming into January. So after a £23 million bid was rejected in the summer for Fedor Chalov, it seems like they'll be going back for the CSKA Moscow striker. Last season, he was able to score 15 goals in 30 league games, and at the age of 21, it shows that he has plenty of time to grow into a better player. They'll certainly be hoping that he can come in and start scoring goals straight away. Only Watford have scored less than Palace in the Premier League this season. They do find themselves in a good position in the Premier League, however with this addition to the squad it could mean that they'll stay there come the end of the season. Everton are one of many clubs monitoring Marseille central midfielder Morgan Sanson. Everton may be wanting to prioritise this position because of long-term injuries to Andre Gomes and Gabamin. He'd had a creative spark in the midfield. He ranks 3rd in most successful dribbles and 4th in most key passes by midfielders in Liga 1. He'd also provide good service for the Everton forwards that are looking to impress under Ancelotti. Calvert-Lewin has already started thriving under the new manager, and a new addition in midfield would look to continue that. His value looks to be around £25 million. We'll soon see if there's anything in the reports. When Leicester sold Maguire, the reports were that they were trying to sign another centre-back. That never happened, but they've been performing well with Evans and Soyuncu at the back. However, maybe more depth is needed, and Maria Demiral could add that. He only signed for Juventus in the summer, but has only played 3 times, which has caught caught the interest of Arsenal and Tottenham as well. He is Turkish, so he'd have a nice link up with Soyuncu, and at a value of £25 million, it might be a good purchase for Leicester City to make. Liverpool are reported to be looking at Victor Osimhen from French club Lille. He only signed in the summer from Wolfsburg after a loan spell at Belgian club Charleroi, and it was there where he was able to score 20 goals in all competitions. So far this season for Lille, he's scored 10 and assisted 4 times in 18 games. In the summer window, Nicolas Pepe left Lille for Arsenal in a deal worth £72 million. Osimhen probably won't cost that much, but Lille won't be selling a quality player cheap. Pep Guardiola has stated Man City aren't going to be making moves in the market. If they are to, it will probably be for a centre-back, and an option for them would be Upamecano from RB Leipzig. He's the perfect type of centre-back for this City team, as he's good with his feet. The proof being that he's joint top for the most successful dribbles by centre-backs in the Bundesliga and 5th for long balls per game with 5. Leipzig don't sell cheap, so around £50 million is the reported value for him. Manchester United need to add quality into their midfield desperately. One of the hottest prospects in world football that they're linked to is Eduardo Camavinga. He's only 17, however his statistics are quite amazing. In the top 5 European leagues, Camavinga tops the table for the amount of tackles won per game with 4.5. Possibly Man United need to add an attacking midfielder more than a defensive, however if Camavinga is available they really have to pick him up. Real Madrid and other big clubs are reported to be interested, so it will take a big fee to get him. Newcastle brought in creativity with St Maximin, but when he's out the team they struggled to create much. Out of the 9 games without St Maximin in the team, only 4 points have been gained out of a potential 27. Jared Bowen is someone that can play a great part in this team to add that extra burst of energy when St Maximin is missing, or alongside him when they're both in the team. He's being linked with so many clubs right now, so Newcastle would really have to push hard to get this deal done. He scored 16 goals and got 4 assists in 24 games in the Championship this season, and it's definitely not a fluke season. He scored 22 last season and 14 the season before that. He's too good for the Championship. January is his time to step up. For Norwich, I've gone for a striker, and one that could be seen as an odd one. Lawrence Shankland from Dundee, a little different to the Germans that their recruitment usually go for. This guy has been tearing it up in Scotland for a few seasons now, and yes, the quality of football is on another level to the Premier League. However, Lawrence seems to be on another level too. Like Jamie Vardy, he's an out-and-out goal scorer, and if you can score goals like he does, then you can do it anywhere. In the last 2 seasons, and so far through this one, Lawrence Shankland has been able to score 69 goals in 78 games, and that's playing in the Scottish League 1 and Championship leagues. For me, he seems like a player a Premier League team should take a risk on. To survive in the Premier League, you need goals. Timu Pukki can score them, but could Shankland also help in keeping the Canaries up? Sheffield United have obviously been very impressive so far, so why not continue adding quality by signing Eberici Eze from QPR? I recently talked about him in my Manchester United video, and since then some reports have linked him to Sheffield United. He had a fantastic game on New Year's Day, scoring 1 and assisting 2 in QPR's 6-1 win over Cardiff. Playing at attacking midfield, Eze has a great eye for goal and a vision for the pass. 10 goals and 6 assists so far in the Championship has caught the eye of some bigger clubs, so the Blades will be facing some competition. Southampton have recently been linked with a loan move for Chelsea centre-back Mark Guehi. He's a player that's gaining interest from Premier League sides and Championship sides. Obviously, with the teams interested involved in 2 contrasting situations: surviving in the Premier League or fighting for promotion in the Championship. Swansea, Nottingham Forest, Bristol City and Premier League club Norwich are the other teams said to be looking at him. Similar to now first team Chelsea player Tomori, he's a good ball playing defender. Another good comparison would be Axel Tuanzebe, who got great experience after a full season with Aston Villa in their promotion winning season. Southampton may see him as an option, but this may come down to what Mark thinks is best for him. Tottenham didn't replace Trippier in the summer, so rumours of new right backs are flooding in. One of the options is Nathan Ferguson from West Brom, a player who's burst onto the scene this season. He's only just turned 19 in October, and throughout the season so far he's been impressive to say it's his first time at this level. Like Jadon Bogle earlier, Nathan Ferguson has attacking intent with 1.5 successful dribbles per game. As well as that, 2.4 tackles per game shows that he has defensive qualities he can keep improving on. Watford's target of Ricardo Rodriguez on loan from AC Milan is probably one of the more surprising moves in this list. According to reports, he'd be open to the move as he'd get the game time he wants, which he currently isn't in Italy. It's fair to say that Rodriguez hasn't been the same player at AC Milan that he was at Wolfsburg. In the Bundesliga, he was getting a few assists and maybe a couple of goals a season, contributing more to the attacking play. If that player can come back at Watford, then this deal should be one of the many I'd imagine Watford are aiming to complete. Maybe signing a striker partner for Haller isn't exactly a priority for West Ham. However, due to this link, that's what I'm labelling West Ham's priority as. And that's because they are said to be interested in signing Gabriel Barbosa. Now he's returned to Inter Milan from his loan at Flamengo. He was able to score an incredible 34 goals and get 11 assists in 41 games games for Flamengo. This has made a lot of clubs interested in him, including reports of Chelsea too. And for an apparent £20 million, this could be one of the deals of the window if he can hit his scoring form. He'd be a great addition to a team I think has great potential to push on. We're yet to see the best of Haller, and maybe this signing could take away some of the pressure from him. The raid of Salzburg looks to continue as Wolves are looking at striker Hwang Hee-chan. This could be a deal they could agree on for around £20 million, and I can really see this one happening. In all competitions this season, he's been able to score 9 goals and get 14 assists in 22 games. That's including 3 goals and 5 assists in the Champions League alone. He'd join a team of exciting players, and it's a signing that definitely suits Wolves. If you could have one player join your team this season, who would it be? Comment below and I'll reply to some that I think could be interesting. I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.